Om Shanti. And good evening, and thank you for your patience. I think we had a bit of a sound problem here. So, my name is Rose from Glasgow, InnerSpace. And we're going to talk about self-mastery. It's a very wonderful topic. So we're looking at, if I want to master myself, I have to know, who am I? This is the first and constant question I need to ask. So why, I should also say, why do I want to be a master of myself? I need to know who I am. And it's very pleasant to know who we are. I need to know, what is it I want to master? Is it to do with relationships? Is it because I get upset, I get angry, I have low self-esteem, I worry a lot, maybe I gossip a lot, maybe I talk too much, maybe I'm just exhausted. There's so many areas that I will know regarding myself and how I'm using my energy. So quiet time and meditation helps me to explore this wonderful aspect of the self. And if I start to practice a moment of reflection, it can show me the possibility that I'm actually a thinking being, a being of energy. I'm consciousness. I am the soul. And as the soul, I'm containing all the thoughts and feelings and personality traits. It's actually a new experience and a new way of thinking about myself, because I may have all the worries and the annoyance and the ego and the anger and things like this, but underneath that there is who I actually am. It's just that I've lost track of the real me. I'm a being of peace, and my natural nature is peaceful. And when I'm using my natural nature, all the skills and everything that I really love begins to become available to me. I can access these beautiful aspects of my character. So to see myself as a spiritual being is the true key to self-mastery. And now I don't need to struggle and battle and use a lot of force. I don't have to do this to try and change or master my actions. It just simply becomes a question of understanding more and more clearly and deeply who I actually am. I have created my character, and actually my character will still bear, even if I've gone into the bits I'm not so happy about and I want to change, it will still hold the traces of my original form. So it won't be such a big move from what I'm like now to who I actually am originally. So I can understand more clearly and deeply who I am, and I can learn to skillfully manage my thoughts and actions without the need for force. I won't have to force myself. I just have to observe myself and just nudge myself into the other direction. Because to be a master of the self means having really good knowledge and understanding of the self and the skills that go along with the self. Because I was a master of myself. This is not something absolutely new. So when we practice Raj Yoga meditation, a good thing is to wake up every day and sit down in meditation and check in with myself and say, so who am I? And so there's so much wonder inside every soul. So inside myself, there is so much that I've forgotten. And it's to remember again. But I need quiet time to experience my qualities. I might be amazed. I might find it gives me so much enthusiasm to do something that I think is new, but in actual fact was something very powerful inside me that I perhaps did over and over for a long time, that was a skill. And actually was maybe my biggest wonder, but I stopped using it. I talk, for instance, about being an artist. I would never have thought I was an artist till I started meditation. It just started to blossom inside me. Now, it didn't just come from now. It came from a long time ago, somewhere in my past, where I was a master of that trade, you might call it, or that art, where I was actually very proficient. But at this point in time, I couldn't draw a straight line. And so really to think about it, who am I? And when I start looking at myself and maybe calming myself, keep myself calm and have faith in myself, encourage myself, and then I can develop my character exactly as I wish it to be, because the proper, real, original nature will start to show itself when it's in the environment of peacefulness and love and acceptance. It will start to blossom, and I will know my own energy. And I might be very surprised. Life doesn't need to be a hit or a miss. I can have more stability, I can feel there's more direction, and that I am the ruler of my own life, the manager of my life. So, if I think like this, every day it's good to go back to basics. And by just starting the day with Om Shanti, I am peace, a being of peace, I'm a peaceful soul. This starts me off remembering who I am. It brings me back to the starting point for real self-discovery. This simple foundation can keep me calm and steady and focused. This is really good, actually. And if you're calm and focused and light-hearted, a different energy is going on inside you. An energy of hope, a vibrancy that we didn't have before. So it changes my attitudes, it changes the feelings I have inside, the energy I have change. And that's just the beginning. So otherwise I would get lost in a tangle of words and ideas and concepts and theories which I've got used to as being an entertainment. Nothing wrong with a little bit of entertainment, but they won't really help me to know myself. They'll just distract me from getting to really know myself. Everybody can be a self-master. The truth is very simple. It's the practice that makes all the difference. Practice and experience. So I can actually learn to skillfully manage my thoughts and actions without force. There'll be so much inside you that there has to be, actually, so much inside you that's creative and wondrous and strong and powerful and trustworthy and light-hearted, loving and kind, because our original nature is peace, purest energy, loving energy, which means friendly and kind and thoughtful for everyone around me. Happiness. Happiness is part of our original nature. So when I start to explore the self, this being that's me, the soul, I, the soul, what's inside, definitely all of that has to be inside. And then what you did with it on your journey, that's for you to discover, because every one of us are very, very unique. So it's practice that makes all the difference. And with practice we will feel experience. And be patient, because it doesn't just happen all at once. Feelings of peace and well-being can happen all at once. Feelings of lightheartedness and thankfulness can happen all at once. But if I start to put things into practice and look at the bigger picture and watch myself in interaction with others, and when I would have got annoyed, to stop being annoyed, so I'm changing those patterns. If I was jealous, I stop that happening as well, because what's the point? If I was sad, I do my best to stop that as well. Remember that I have happiness in my nature. So if I start looking at things like this, then that will speed up the process, actually, and gradually I'll begin to understand myself, and without a lot of problem, I'll feel I'm being like a self-master.
Can I ask you a question about how to use feedback in the right way? Because a lot of what we hear is about becoming unaffected and, you know, everything coming from within to be the self-master. But I still need to use life and other people as like a mirror to show me where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So can you talk a little bit about that? How do I use feedback to help me see where I need further adjustment? Okay. Because otherwise I can get kind of carried away thinking that I'm a self-master and I'm doing great and I'm so peaceful. And
okay, it's a big question you're asking, because we're all unique. But for myself, I always turn it to myself. Like if someone's annoyed at me, I kind of don't blame them for that. I think maybe I said something the wrong way round, or maybe I could have seen that a bit differently, which means that I'm checking myself. If someone praises me and praises me and praises me, I watch myself to see, am I getting carried away with this praise? Am I believing all of this? And suddenly there I am, the ego's up and polished again, bright and shining. Or am I going, hold on. That's very nice and very kind, and think that way and smile and then let it go. So you have to watch what's happening when you get your feedback. Some of your feedback will be unpleasant. We won't like it. You might get people who just don't like what you've done or said, or who're jealous, and who'll pull you down, who'll gossip, etc. And then I have to have the common sense sometimes to see, well, that's who they are. But I have to see that I see that, and that I've thought about it and I've understood, and that it doesn't stop me from being sweet and friendly and happy and nice to those souls, even though they don't know that I know that they were gossiping about me and calling me all the names of the day. So you have to then accept them and make everything feel okay. So feedback, it's you get the negative and you'll get the positive, and it's how you take that. It's always something for us to learn, and feedback's great, actually. Absolutely great, essential, because it shows me something I need to know, because we can't just see everything, but we're doing our best. But if I have a set of ground rules for myself as to where I'm going and how I want to be, I'll teach myself not to be too affected by feedback, negative or positive. But to check myself if there was some blame for me there, but also to not blame whoever maybe was really to blame, because if they don't know any different, I cannot blame them. And so that's what you do with feedback, actually. I think as best I can answer that. It's obviously a big thing, a big topic. We could go into it for a while, and we're all different. That's only basic rules.
So you're kind of pointing that the more I become a real self-master, manage my energy, I'll be more careful with others.
Yeah. I'll treat others as if they're a precious possession, a precious gown, a precious friend, a precious, if you had a special child that you adored. If I could try and treat others like that without them knowing it, but in my own mind, they're precious, we're precious. And eventually people might even try and start to treat us as precious if we see others as precious energy.
Near the beginning you said that I was a master of myself. There are still traces there, so it's not such a big move, it's just a constant series of nudges.
Yeah. You want to know more about that?
Yeah, it takes away this feeling of force and struggle.
We've had a journey, and on that journey you've had many life experiences. And within all those life experiences you had to use skills and courage and all sorts of understanding and making things work. And so all the ingredients are there. But as we get more and more further along our journey, we forget a lot of the ways that we coped and the good qualities that we had. But they're not that far along back the path. They're still there. So it's not too difficult if I go back onto this track of looking at the qualities that I actually have. There's still traces of them now, or I wouldn't be looking. And they're not too difficult to bring back to life. That's my experience. Once I found out that I was really interested in drawing, although I couldn't, I spent all the time I could just trying to and laughing at myself because I was like a child at school. But I kept thinking, I'm sure I could do that a little bit better. And I did, 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 until one day I was painting Krishna. So just keep remembering there's something that's actually motivating us to even want to know about being a self-master. Okay.
Be patient.
Be patient.
How patient do I need to be? Is it unending patience?
No. I think that you just have to be patient in the moment. If you're still wanting to, you're still impatient now at this second, then you're not looking at patience. You're keeping impatience going. You want to know the outlook. You want to know what's going to happen before it's happened. You have to know that the drama works very slowly. And be patient. Just know that, and enjoy the journey, actually. Easier said than done. Sometimes we will get a little bit impatient. What's going to happen, I wonder. But teach yourself to know that it will be good. When you're starting to think in this way, it can only be good. Okay. So I think we're going to have time for a minute of silence. And thank you all for coming. And that was lovely. Enjoyed your company. So just to sit still, focus on the center of the forehead. I'm a being of peace. And within the self are all the qualities. They are there already, just waiting for me to stop the peacelessness and disturbance and impatience, and to focus on the patience and the peace and the love and the happiness, because the soul most definitely had an abundance of these qualities, because we're beings of energy, beings of light, and these energies are within us. I am a soul, and when I focus on the one above, then this can make the process more delightful. And if we're impatient, it can make it a bit faster. Because I'm adding that power to my power. I am a soul, a child of that one. A being of peace, calm, steadiness, light, love, and happiness. These are my birthright. Om.